Echoes dance in heart they touch, a single voice can mean so much. Bold and fierce or soft and bright, they turn the darkness into light. So speak with strength, let voices rise, and paint the world with thoughts so wise. Good morning to everyone. Respected Director Sir, Vice Principal Sir, esteemed judges, distinguished teachers, brothers, sisters, and my fellow classmates. It is a privilege to stand before you today to welcome you all to this 2082 Inter-House Public Speaking Contest, where the stage is not just a platform but a battlefield for ideas. Welcome to the ultimate showdown of wit, precision, and eloquence, our 2082 Inter-House Public Speaking Battle. This is me, Aisma Rai from grade 10, your host for today's Inter-House Public Speaking Contest 2082, where the stage is no less than an arena and each speaker steps forward to fight, not with words but with power of speech. Today, every participant will go head and head, presenting compelling ideas, igniting debate, and proving that words can be just as mighty as weapon. Now, may I request our school's head boy to take the seat of president at this Inter-House Public Speaking Contest 2082. May I request our Honorable Director to take the seat of special guest. And may I also ask our Vice Principal Sir to take the seat of honor.
They say ignorance is bliss, but is it truly? On surface, the force feels soft, comforting, like a warm blanket on a cold night. After all, what we don't know can hurt us, right? But dig a little deeper and the picture changes. Good morning, everyone. This is me, Andama from grade 10, going to represent Blue House in this 2082 Public Speaking Contest. Before I start, I would like to thank the host. Imagine a child gazing at the stars, believing each one is a wish waiting to be granted. To them, the world is magical, safe, fair. Their joy is real, pure, untouched by the weight of truth. But innocence is not as same as ignorance. And as we grow, we begin to see cracks in the system that illusion face. As the poet Thomas Gray once wrote in 1742, where ignorance is bliss, it is flowy to be wide. So, is it really foolish to seek wisdom? Consider this. A person in a love unaware of betrayal, their laughter rings loud, their trust unbroken, but once the truth arrives, the bliss shatters. So, was it love or was it a lie dressed as happiness? This is a quiet war between comfort and clarity, and in today's world, it is easy to choose comfort. Yes, ignorance can be the form of peace, but peace built in a silence is fragile. Because the truth, even if it hurts, can give us something never can. Power. The power to change, the power to stand up, and the power to do something better. Every revolution begins with awareness. Every innovation was born from curiosity. Every human rights we enjoy today was once the truth someone refused to ignore. There is a line between protecting your peace and avoiding your purpose. So the next time you hear ignorance is bliss, not just ask what you are avoiding, but just what you are sacrificing. Because in the end, bliss may be fleeting, but awareness is enduring. And in awareness, we find freedom, we find choice, and something the truth, even if it hurts, can truly set us free. Thank you.
धेरै जसो युवाहरू आफ्नो भविष्य निर्माणको खोजीमा हुन्छन्, तर के तपाईहरुलाई थाहा छ पुष्पा बस्नेतले जेलभित्र रहेका आमाबुवाका बालबालिकाहरूको जीवन बदल्ने निर्माण गरिन्। धन्यवाद उद्घोषकज्यू, आदरणीय सभापतिज्यू, निर्णायक मण्डलज्यू, गुरुवर्ग, गुरुआमा तथा मेरा प्यारा साथीहरू र यहाँ उपस्थित महानुभावहरू। म युवा लिम्बू कक्षा 10 की विद्यार्थी नीलो सदनबाट आजको वक्तव्य कला कार्यक्रममा भाग लिन गइरहेकी छु। मलाई आजको विषय रहेको छ प्रेरणादायी जीवनी। म पुष्पा बस्नेतको बारेमा केही मेरा विचार र भनाइहरू राख्न गइरहेको छु। मलाई यो अवसर प्रदान गरिदिनु भएकोमा म मेरो हाउस क्याप्टेन प्रति र विद्यालय परिवार प्रति आभार व्यक्त गर्दछु। प्रिय दर्शकवृन्द, आज म यहाँ एक असाधारण व्यक्तिको बारेमा बोल्न आएकी छु। एक महिला जसले आफ्नो जीवन समाजसेवीमै समर्पित गरिन्। पुष्पा बस्नेत। पुष्पा बस्नेत एक नेपाली महान समाजसेविक जसले जेलमा रहेका आमा बुवाका बालबालिकाहरूको लागि उच्च भविष्य निर्माण गर्न आफ्नो जीवन समर्पित गरिन्। पुष्पा बस्नेतको यात्रा कुनै साधारण कथा हैनन्। उनको एसएलसी परीक्षा असफल भएपछि उनले बाल मन्दिरमा सभ्य सेवाका रूपमा काम गर्न थालिन्। त्यहाँ उनले बालबालिकाहरूको कठिनाइ देखिन्। उनीहरूलाई
They say ignorance is bliss. But try saying that to your teacher after forgetting your homework. I promise, it won't be blissful then. Thank you, host. Good morning to you all, respected Honorable Director Sir, Principal Sir, Vice Principal Sir, respected judges, teachers, brothers, sisters, and my fellow participants. This is me, Puja Limu from grade 10, proudly representing Yala House in this Inter-House 2082 public speaking competition. It's a privilege to stand in front of you all. I would like to thank my house members and school family for giving me these wonderful opportunities to share my thoughts on a paradoxical yet powerful phrase, ignorance is bliss. At first glance, it might sound strange. How can not knowing something be a good thing in a world that glorifies knowledge, education, and awareness? How can ignorance, something we are taught to overcome, be a source of bliss? Let me explain. The phrase ignorance is a bliss was coined by the English poet Thomas Gray in the 18th century. In his poem, he suggested that unaware, the harsh reality of life often leads to simpler, more powerful lives. In other words, let's just say what we don't know can hurt us, or can it? Now I would like you to imagine a child playing in a garden, laughing, chasing butterflies, completely unaware of war, poverty, or betrayal. That child's joy comes from innocence, from ignorance, from not knowing the weight of the world. Let's construct that with the life of an adult, burdened by news, responsibilities, and even emotional cost. As we say, the more we know, the more we feel pain, pressure, and even helplessness. In fact, studies in psychology reveals that excessive exposure to information, especially negative news, can increase stress, anxiety, and even feelings of hopelessness. This proves that sometimes staying unaware can protect our mental well-being, at least for a while. In certain situations, ignorance is bliss. Not knowing about a betrayal may spare someone emotional trauma. Not knowing about a smile behind the smile may keep the relationship intact for a while. But we must ask ourselves, is it temporary bliss is worth long-term deception? Well, it's a delicate balance. While ignorance can protect us, but it also blinds us to important truths, the truths that could help us grow, solve problems, or protect others. So that's where true bliss comes in. True bliss doesn't lie in ignorance, nor in knowing everything. It lies in knowing enough and learning how to deal with the truth, deal with the problem. So, my friends, don't fear knowledge. Embrace it, but with balance. Seek the truth, but don't let it steal your peace. Be informed, but don't be consumed. Because the happiest people I have known maintain what psychologists call positive constructive daydreaming. They leave the mental room for unanswered question. And my grandfather can sit for an hour watching the sea. Content not understanding tide, but knowing intimately. And my teachers often say, I don't know, let's find out together. Making mutual space for discovery, rather than delivering pre-packaged facts. Because even after all, In a world full of chaos and noise, sometimes a little bit of ignorance can still be a quiet part of our bliss. In the end, I would like to say that the phrase ignorance is a bliss captures a feeling's moment of comfort. However, it's crucial to remember that embracing knowledge, no matter how uncomfortable, ultimately leads to personal growth, social progress, and a deeper understanding to the world. Let's strive knowledge and understanding while also remembering that true bliss found in courage to face the Thank you and have a nice day, everyone.
Thank you, Pooja, for your wonderful speech that gave us more information on ignorance is bliss. And our next participant representing Valor House is Saurav Rai in Nepali category. Please give him a round of applause and the stage is yours.
यो गीत मायालु छ माया नै भन्छ यो गीत सुनेपछि कसैले नारायण गोपाललाई नचिनेको हुन सक्छ उनको आवाज केवल एउटा गीत होइन एउटा अनुभूति थियो जसले मायाको परिभाषा नै बदलिदिएछ आज हामी उनकै मायामय सङ्गीत यात्रामा हिँड्छौँ धन्यवाद कार्यक्रम सञ्चालिकाज्यू आदरणीय सभापति निर्णायक मण्डल गुरुवर्ग दाजुभाइ दिदीबहिनी तथा मेरा प्यारा साथीहरूमा हार्दिक अभिवादन म आजको यस वक्तृत्व कला प्रतियोगितामा म सौरभ राई कक्षा 10 को छात्र पहिलो सदनबाट आफ्नो के नै भनाइहरू राख्न गइरहेको छु र मेरो भनाइको शीर्षक रहेको छ एक असल व्यक्ति र समूह बीच प्रेरणादायी जीवनी र मैले यो शीर्षकबाट एकजना व्यक्तिलाई चुनेको छु र उहाँ हुन् स्वर सम्राट नारायण गोपाल सभाध्यक्ष महोदय नेपालका अनेकौं ताराहरूमध्ये एक त्यस्तो तारा जसले गायन क्षेत्रबाट आफ्नो अब्बल छाप छोडेका एक बहुप्रतिभावान व्यक्ति हुन् स्वर सम्राट नारायण गोपाल सँगै सरस्वतीको भक्त स्वर सम्राट नारायण गोपालले गीत गाउँदा हजारौं मानिस ठाउँको ठाउँ रुने गर्थे त्यसैले उनी सम्पूर्ण जनमानसको मनमनमा बस्न सफल भएका थिए नेपाली भाषा पुस्ताको पहिलो गायकले अनेकौं विधाका गीतहरू गाएर नेपाललाई नै सङ्गीतमय बनाएका थिए त्यसपछि भने उनको साङ्गीतिक यात्राको सुरुवात भएको थियो नारायण गोपालले व्यावसायिक रूपमा गीत गाउन सुरु गरेपछि आफ्नो सङ्गीतप्रतिको गीतहरू मार्फत होइन उनको जीवनशैली सङ्घर्ष र समर्पणले हामीलाई गहिरो प्रेरणा दिएको छ
Those who were seen dancing were thought to be insane by those who couldn't hear the music. Thank you, host. A very good morning to our Honorable Director Sir, Vice Principal Sir, respected judges, teachers, brothers, sisters, and my dear friends. This is me, Sulabh Sampang Rai from grade 10, going to represent Greenhouse in today's public speaking competition. So I'm here to deliver a speech on the topic ignorance is bliss. The phrase ignorance is bliss sounds harmless, even poetic, but let's call it what it really is, a dangerous illusion. So today I stand before you not to admire this idea but to challenge it, because I believe that ignorance is not bliss. Let's take this further. Let's start by asking questions. What does bliss really mean? If we define it as a kind of peace, happiness, or freedom from worry, then yes, ignorance might sometimes feel blissful, but feeling good is not the same as being safe. Peace is not the same as progress, and happiness built on falsehood is fragile. Imagine a patient who has cancer but doesn't know it. They'll feel fine because they are, in a sense, blissfully unaware. But is that real bliss? Or is it just a ticking time bomb? Their ignorance doesn't protect them. It only delays the reality. Throughout history, ignorance has never been a blessing. It has been a weapon, sometimes wielded by others, sometimes chosen by ourselves. People ignored the signs of climate change. Now, we all suffer its consequences. Nations ignored the rise of dictators. The result? War. Individuals ignored their mental health. The cost? Collapse. And yet, we say ignorance is bliss. I say ignorance is permission for destruction. Let's take this further. Philosophers like Plato gave us the famous allegory of the cave. In it, prisoners were in cave, seeing just shadows, believing those shadows to be the reality. But they are ignorant, and yes, they are content, but it is a false contentment. So, ignorance is not bliss. I do not believe in that. Because ignorance just delays the reality, and truth it shapes our life. Thank you and have a nice day.
हामी आफ्नै जीवनको मालिक हुन्छौँ। हामी आफ्नै जीवनको मालिक हुन्छौँ। भाग्यले होइन, हाम्रो सोच र कर्मले हाम्रो भविष्य हुन्छ। धन्यवाद कार्यक्रम सञ्चालकज्यू। यस व्यक्तित्व क्लबको आदरणीय सभापतिज्यू, यस विद्यालयका निर्देशकज्यू, प्रधानाध्यापकज्यू, जुनको ज्योति र सूर्यको किरण छुटाउनु भएका आदरणीय सभापतिज्यू, निलेख मण्डलज्यू, गुरुवर्ग तथा यहाँ उपस्थित सम्पूर्ण प्रतियोगी तथा अप्रतियोगी मित्रहरूमा म कक्षा 10 को विद्यार्थी पेमा याङछी गुरुङ त्रिभुवन साधनबाट स्वीकार्नुहोस् मेरो नमस्कार। आजको हाम्रो विद्यालयको यस व्यक्तित्व क्लबमा म मेरो केही भनाइहरू हजुर निमित्त राख्न गइरहेकी छु। आजको यस व्यक्तित्व क्लबको विषय रहेको छ कुनै पनि एक सफल व्यक्ति वा समुदायको प्रेरणादायक जीवनी। आज म तपाईहरुको अगाडि यस्तो एउटा व्यक्तिको बारेमा भन्न गइरहेकी छु। उहाँको सोचले हाम्रो समाजलाई भित्रैदेखि हल्लाउनु भएको छ। उहाँ हुनुहुन्छ तोरबहादुर बिष्ट। उहाँलाई नेपालको मानवशास्त्रका पिता भनेर चिनिन्छ। तर म भने उहाँलाई केवल एक मानवशास्त्र भनेर होइन, उहाँलाई एक समाज सुधार, एक दृश्य र एक आन्दोलनकारी चिन्तित भनेर चिन्छु। उहाँको जन्म 1928 सालमा भएको थियो। उहाँको जन्मको लक्ष्य थियो नेपालको समाज, संस्कृति र मानिसहरूको सम्बन्ध गहिरैदेखि बुझ्नु अनि त्यसमा सुधार ल्याउनु। उहाँले हामीलाई आफ्नो सोच, समाज र संस्कृतिमा प्रश्न गर्न सिकाउनु भयो। उहाँको सबैभन्दा चर्चित किताब थियो नियतिवाद र विकास। उहाँले यस किताबमा भन्नुभएको थियो कि नेपाल विकास नहुनेको कारण पैसा, शिक्षा र प्रविधिको अभाव होइन, हाम्रो सोचको जडमै भएको भाग्य पार हो। हामी सबै भन्छौँ के गर्नु भएको यस्तै हो, भाग्यमा लेखेको यस्तै हो। तर तोरबहादुर बिष्ट भन्नुहुन्छ जबसम्म हामी आफ्नै भाग्य लेख्न सक्दैनौँ भन्ने विश्वास गर्दैनौँ तबसम्म देशलाई पनि विकास गर्न सक्दैनौँ। उहाँले यस्तै सोचलाई नियतिवाद भन्नुभएको हो, जुन सोचले मानिसलाई लाचार बनाउँछ र उसले आफूभित्र भएको शक्ति देखाउन सक्दैन। त्यसै गरी उहाँले नेपाली समाज व्यक्त जातीय र सामाजिक विभाजनको विषयमा पनि कडा प्रश्न उठाउनु भएको थियो। उहाँले भन्नुभएको थियो नेपालमा मानिसहरू ठुलो वा सानो भनिने उनले कति काम गरेर भनेर होइन कि तर ऊ कुन जात, कुन धर्म र कुन वर्गमा जन्मिएको भन्ने निर्धारण गरिन्छ। तर उहाँले यस्तै विचारलाई ठुलो मान्छे बन्न सानो मान्छेको सोच भनेर भन्नुभयो। उहाँले सोध्नुभयो किन सानो मान्छेलाई सपना देख्ने हक छैन, किन ठुलो भनिएकाहरूको सबै गल्ती माफी गरिन्छ तर सानो भनिएकाहरूको बोले पनि दोषी ठानिन्छ। उहाँको यस्तै विचारहरू केवल किताबमा मात्र थिएनन्, उहाँको यस्तै विचारहरू क्रियाकलापमा पनि उहाँले परिवर्तन गर्नुभयो। तर कस्तो दुर्भाग्य, 1995 सालमा उहाँ अचानक बेपत्ता हुनुभयो। अहिलेसम्म पनि उहाँ कहाँ, किन र कसरी हराउनुभयो त्यो एउटा रहस्य नै रहेको छ। तर उहाँको सोच, उहाँको सपना र आन्दोलन त अहिलेसम्म पनि हामी भित्रै थाक्छन्। जब हामी अन्यायको विरुद्ध बोल्छौँ, जब हामी के गर्नु भनेको छ त के गर्न सकिन्छ भने अगाडि बढ्छौँ, तब हामी भित्र दौरबहादुर बिष्ट बोलिरहेको हुन्छन्। अन्त्यमा म यति मात्रै भन्न चाहन्छु, दौरबहादुर बिष्टले हामीलाई केवल पढ्न मात्र होइन, हामीलाई सोच्न, प्रश्न गर्न र कुरा बदल्न सिकाउनु भयो। दौरबहादुर बिष्टले भन्नुहुन्थ्यो नेपाल कहिले पनि साँच्चीकै बदल्न सक्दैन जबसम्म यहाँकै जनताहरूले आफूप्रति विश्वास गर्न सक्दैन। हामीले उहाँको सपनामा धन्यवाद। धन्यवाद र दौरबहादुर बिष्टप्रति मेरो उच्च सम्मान। जय नेपाल।
Sometimes not knowing the truth may lead to greater happiness. Good morning to you all. Honorable Chairperson, Director Sir, Vice Principal Sir, respected teachers, panel of judges, brothers, sisters, and all my dear friends. This is me, Nawab Khan from grade 10, proudly representing Red House in this inter-house public speaking competition. The topic of my speech is ignorance is bliss. First of all, what does it really mean? Ignorance can be defined as lack of facts or knowledge. The idea that sometimes is better, not in other words, but there may be situations where you're happier not knowing the truth. A common expression used to describe the situation is ignorance is bliss. In 1742, a famous English poet, Thomas Gray, in his poem wrote, "Ignorance is bliss." He briefly captures the idea that sometimes not knowing the truth can lead to greater happiness. This concept suggests that being unaware of certain unpleasant realities or complexities can spare one from worry, stress, and providing a sense of contentment. However, while ignorance may offer temporary comfort, it also hinders personal growth, prevents informed decision making, and perpetuates misunderstandings. Ultimately, it serves as a reminder of the delicate balance between knowledge and bliss, highlighting the trade-offs between awareness and peace of mind the human experience. Throughout history, this sentiment has resonated with individuals navigating the complexities of life, emphasizing the enduring relevance of great insightful observation. To conclude, I would like to say that it's better to be ignorant sometimes and remain grounded. Ignorance keeps us closer to the facts that matter the most in our day-to-day life. It allows us to live a life outside of fear. It doesn't make our life easy, but it just make our life a little bit easier. At last, I would like to say that maybe ignorance feels like bliss at times, but it is a fleeting illusion. Thank you.
कर्ममा छ भने शक्ति जङ्गले बन्छ नन्दन घोटिएर सयौँपल्ट दाउरो बन्छ चन्दना। धन्यवाद कार्यक्रम सञ्चालिकाज्यू। आजको यस वक्तृत्व कला कार्यक्रमका सभाध्यक्षज्यू, यस विद्यालयका निर्देशकज्यू, सभा प्रधानाध्यापकज्यू, निर्णायक मण्डल, गुरुवर्ग तथा यहाँ उपस्थित सम्पूर्ण प्रतियोगी तथा अप्रतियोगी मित्रहरूमा म कक्षा 10 मा अध्ययनरत छात्रा एमृसा राई रातो सदनबाट स्वीकार्नुहोस् न्यानो अभिवादन। आज हाम्रो विद्यालयमा आयोजित वक्तृत्व कला प्रतियोगितामा सहभागी भई मैले आफूलाई भाग्यमानी ठानेकी छु। आजको मेरो विषय रहेको छ सफल व्यक्तिको जीवनी अन्तर्गत महावीर गुण। सभाध्यक्ष महोदय, सर्वप्रथम महावीर को हुन् त यसबारे प्रकाश पार्न चाहन्छु। महावीर पुन नेपालको म्यादी जिल्लाको नाङ्गी गाउँमा 1955 जनवरी 22 मा जन्मिएका एक वैज्ञानिक, सामाजिक, शिक्षक, उद्यमी र विकासकर्मी हुन्। शिक्षा र प्रविधिको माध्यमबाट
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. This is me, Deepa Shrestha, from grade 9 and 8. Today I am going to speak about something we all feel at some point in our life. Love and hate. These are two strong emotions, but they are different in what they do to us and to the world. And I truly believe that love is more powerful than hate. Hate is loud. It makes people angry. It causes arguments, fights, and even war. It breaks friendship, creates fear, causes pain.
दाजुभाइ दिदीबहिनी तथा मेरा प्यारा मित्रहरू, म भुवन लिम्बू कक्षा 9 को छात्र निधर सदनबाट आजको यस विद्यालयमा भइरहेको वक्तृत्व कला प्रतियोगितामा भाग लिन पाएकोमा आफूलाई असाध्यै भाग्यमानी ठान्दछु। समय हाम्रो लागि धेरै नै किमती हुन्छ, त्यसैले म ढिला नगरी आफ्नो शीर्षक परम्परागत पहिरनको महत्त्वमाथि 2-4 शब्द भन्न गइरहेको छु। तपाईहरुलाई लाग्ला लुगा हाम्रो शरीर ढाक्नको लागि मात्रै हो, हैन। लुगा भनेको हाम्रो सांस्कृतिक पहिचान र गौरवको प्रतीक पनि हो।
Darkness cannot drive out darkness. Only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate. Only love can do that. Said by King Martin Luther. Thank you, host. Good morning to the Honorable Director Sir, Vice Principal Sir, teachers, panel of judges, and my fellow friends. I'm Trisa Sundas from grade 9, representing the Yellow House, and today I feel deeply honored to speak on a topic that holds the power to transform the world. Love is more powerful than hate. We often see headlines that screams of conflict and divisions. It's easy to feel overwhelmed by the sheer volume of negativity, by the emotion of hatred. But today, I'm here to tell you that there's another force at play, which is far more potent, enduring, and transformative: love. Hate, at its core, is destructive. It builds walls, fosters suspicion, and thrives on fear. It shrinks our world, narrowing our perspectives until we can only see the differences, never common ground. Love, however, does not build walls. It builds the bridges of relation. Love cultivates understanding and blossoms in empathy. Love expands our world, opening our heart and mind to the incredible and ultimate diversity of humanity. Love connects us, inspires us, and compels us to act with kindness and compassion. Think about it. Every act of bravery, every moment of selfless generosity, every intent of genuine forgiveness, these are all manifestations of love. When communities come together in the aftermath of a disaster, it's love that wins them. Love is not naive, nor it is a weakness. It's the ultimate strength. It takes immense courage to love in the face of hate, to extend understanding when it's easier to condemn. But it's in these very acts of courage that love truly reveals its power. It disarms, it heals, and it transforms. When we choose to love, we choose to break the cycle of negativity. We choose to see humanity in others even when they are different from us. We choose to build, to uplift, and to create a better world. So, let us not underestimate the quiet and persistent power of love. It may not always make the loudest noise, but it always has the deepest impact. It's a force that mends broken hearts, heals fractured communities, and ultimately builds a better future where compassion triumphs over cruelty. Thank you.
संस्कार र प्रतीक छ। लुगा केवल आवरण होइन, संस्कारको प्रतीक पनि हो। आजको धन्यवाद कार्यक्रम सञ्चालकज्यू। आजको यस व्यक्तित्व कला प्रतियोगिताका सभाध्यक्षज्यू, यस विद्यालयका निर्देशकज्यू, सह प्रधानाध्यापकज्यू, सत्य र न्याय छुटाउन बस्नुभएका निर्णायक मण्डल, सधैय गुरुवर्ग, समयपालक तथा यहाँ उपस्थित अग्रज, अनुज र समवीय साथीहरूलाई मेरो न्यानो अभिवादन। यसै विद्यालयका कक्षा 9 मा अध्ययनरत विद्यार्थी म स्निग्धा मुखिया पहिलो सदनबाट प्रतिनिधि गर्दै यहाँ उपस्थित भएकी छु। आज म यहाँ परम्परागत पहिरनको महत्त्व भन्ने विषयमा आफ्नो केही शब्दहरू प्रस्तुत गर्न गइरहेकी छु। सभाध्यक्ष महोदय, हामी सबैलाई थाहा छ हामी सबैलाई थाहा छ लुगा हाम्रो जीवनको अति आवश्यक पक्ष हो। तर परम्परागत पहिरन भनेको केवल शरीर ढाक्ने साधन मात्र होइन, यो हाम्रो जीवनको संस्कृति, इतिहास र हाम्रो पहिचानसँग गहिरो रूपमा जोडिएको हुन्छ। नेपाल विभिन्न जात जाति, धर्म, भाषाभाषीहरूको साझा बगैँचा हो। यहाँका गुरुङ, नेवार, राई, लिम्बू, ब्राह्मण, क्षेत्री र अन्य थुप्रै समुदायका आफ्ना परम्परागत पहिरनहरूलाई गौरवका साथ बोकेका हुन्छन्। यी पहिरनहरू न केवल सौन्दर्य र रङमा समृद्धि हुन्छन्, तर यिनीहरूमा समुदायको इतिहास, भौगोलिक अवस्था र वातावरणसँग मेल खाने विशेषता पनि पाइन्छ। उदाहरणका लागि हिमालमा बस्ने भोटे शेर्पाहरूले बाक्ला लुगा जस्ता ढोचा, बक्खु आदि लगाउँछन् भने तराईमा बस्ने मधेसी समुदायहरूले पातला कपडा जस्तै कमेज, साडी, सुरुवाल आदि लगाउने गर्दछन्। त्यस्तै नेवार समुदायहरूले हाकुपतासी, थरु समुदायहरूले घाग्रा चोली आदि जस्ता परम्परागत पहिरनहरू उनीहरूको सांस्कृतिक मौलिकता दर्शाउने महत्त्वपूर्ण माध्यम हुन्। परम्परागत पहिरनले हामीलाई हाम्रो पहिचानको बोध गराउँछ। जस्तै विदेशमा बसेका थुप्रै नेपालीहरूले आफ्नो परम्परागत पहिरन लगाउँदा आफूलाई नजिकबाट नेपाली भएको अनुभव गर्दछन्। चाडपर्व, जात्रा, पूजाआजा वा सांस्कृतिक कार्यक्रममा जब उनीहरू आफ्नो परम्परागत पहिरनमा सजिन्छन् तब उनीहरूले न केवल आफैलाई गौरव महसुस गर्छन्, तर उनीहरूले अरूलाई आफ्नो संस्कृतिको बारेमा पनि केही बताउँदै जान्छन्। आजको युग आधुनिकताको युग हो। यहाँ हामी नयाँ डिजाइनका कपडामा रमाउन थालेका छौँ, जुन स्वाभाविक पनि हो। तर यस मोडर्नाइजेसनको दौरमा हामीले आफ्नो मौलिक लुगा, सांस्कृतिक र चिनारीलाई भुल्नु हुँदैन। परम्परागत पहिरन हाम्रो जरा हो र जरा बिना रुख कसरी टिक्न सक्छ र? यहाँ हामी सबै युगहरूको कर्तव्य हाम्रो आफ्नो परम्परालाई सम्मान गर्न, संस्कृति र मौलिकतालाई जोगाउनु हो। अन्त्यमा म यति मात्र भन्न चाहन्छु कि परम्परागत पहिरन हाम्रो गौरव हो, हाम्रो संस्कृति हो र हाम्रो पहिचान हो। आउनुहोस् यसलाई माया गर, बचाऊ र संसारलाई देखाऊ। धन्यवाद।
Good afternoon to you all. This is me, Julian, from grade 9, representing Greenhouse in this Inter-House 2082 public speaking competition. It's a privilege to stand in front of you all, and I would like to thank my house members and my school family for giving me this wonderful opportunity to share my thought on the topic of love is more powerful than hatred. Let me begin with a quote that speaks volumes. Darkness cannot drive out darkness, only light can do that. And hate cannot drive out hate, only love can do that. By Martin Luther King Jr. This quote reminds us of something deep and true, that even in the darkest time, the love has the power to shine through. Today, I want to talk about why love is more powerful than hatred. Hatred is a negative force that is born out of anger, fear, misunderstanding. It spreads like wildfire, destructive, aggressive. On the other hand, love is completely different from hatred. It takes courage, especially when you're hurt. In the end, I like to say that love is more powerful than hatred. Thank you.
धन्यवाद पोषकज्यू, आदरणीय सभापति ज्यू, गुरु मण्डल तथा श्रद्धेय गुरुवर्ग तथा मेरा दाजुभाइ तथा मेरा प्यारा साथीहरू, सभाध्यक्ष महोदय, म मेरील्यान्ड इङ्ग्लिस बोर्डिङ स्कुलमा कक्षा 9 मा अध्ययनरत छात्रा नवराज लिम्बू हरियो।
Good morning everyone. I am Sunam Rai from grade 9 representing Grade House. Today I am standing here in front of you all to share my opinion on the topic love is more powerful than hate. Love and hate are the two strong emotions that are important in our life. These emotions are powerful.
चौबन्दी चोली पटुकी हान्वसान। धन्यवाद कार्यक्रम सञ्चालकज्यू। यस वक्तित्व कला कार्यक्रमका सभाध्यक्षज्यू, यस विद्यालयका निर्देशकज्यू, सहप्रधानाध्यापकज्यू, दुधको दुध र पानीको पानी छुट्याउन मनमा तराजु र हातमा कलम लिएर बस्नुभएका निष्पक्ष निर्णायक मण्डल, श्रद्धेय गुरुवर्ग, समयपालक तथा यहाँ उपस्थित अग्रज अनुज समवीय साथीहरू। म यस विद्यालयमा कक्षा 9मा अध्ययनरत छात्रा आसियाना राई रातो सदनको प्रतिनिधिको तर्फबाट स्वीकार्नुहोस् न्यानो अभिवादन। आजको यस वक्तित्व कला प्रतियोगितामा सहभागी भई आफ्नो विचार प्रकट गर्न पाउँदा आफूलाई अति भाग्यमानी भएको महसुस गरेकी छु। आजको मेरो विषय छ परम्परागत पहिरनको महत्त्व। परम्परागत पहिरन भन्नाले आफ्नो जाति वा वेशभूषालाई परम्परागत पहिरन भनिन्छ। पहिरनले आफ्नो जातिलाई बुझाउँछ। जस्तै म किराँती राईभित्र पर्दछु। हाम्रो पनि अरू जाति जस्तै भिन्दै प्रकारको पहिरनहरू रहेको छ। जस्तै हामीले लाउने पहिरनहरू छिटको गुन्यो, खाडीको बाक्लो बोर्को, पटुकी, दौरा सुरुवाल, ढाका टोपी आदि हामीले लगाउने पहिरनहरू हो। यो पहिरनहरू हामीले विशेष गरी आफ्ना चाडपर्वतिर लगाउने गर्दछौँ। छिटको गुन्यो, यसलाई हामी फरिया वा 24 हाते गुन्यो पनि भन्न सक्छौँ। यो प्राय कालो वा भुइँमाथि सेतो छिट भएको हुन्छ। र यो प्राय ढाकाको छाप भएको हुन्छ। पटुकी नेपाली महिलाहरूले 12 हाते
Each one of us has dreams, big or small, but have you ever wondered what it really takes to make those dreams into reality? It's not magic, it's not luck, it's something very simple but very powerful. Today, I want to talk about something that I truly believe in. But at first, I would like to say thank you, host, for giving me this wonderful opportunity to talk here. Good morning, Honorable Director Sir, Principal Sir, Vice Principal Sir, panel of judges, respected teachers, my fellow participants, and my dear friends. This is me, Yunchami Rai from grade 8. Standing here on the occasion of public speaking, proudly representing Blue House. Hard work always pays off. Hard work always pays off. You might have heard this saying many times, maybe from your parents, teachers, or even in movies. But have you ever stopped to wonder what it really means? Let me explain it this way. Imagine you're planting a seed. You water it every day, you take care of the sunlight. At first, nothing seems to happen. Days goes by, still nothing. But one day, a small green sprout appears. Then slowly, it grows into a big plant. That's how hard work also is. You might not see the result right away, but if you keep working hard, success will catch you itself. Let me explain a real life example. Do you know who Thomas Edison is, or how many times did he fail before he invented light bulb? 1,000 times. That's right, most of us might have given up, but he didn't. He even said once, I have not failed, I have just found thousands of ideas that won't work. His hard work paid off, and now we all live in a world full of light. Hard work is not always about working hard or studying for long hours. It's also about never giving up when things are tough. Maybe you're not good at math, maybe you're struggling with a subject, you're training hard for a sport, or learning a musical instrument. Maybe you're practicing for a big competition. Whatever it is, you have to work hard for it. There is a story about a poor boy who used to sell tea at a train station in India. People used to ignore him. They used to think he cannot do anything big. But the boy didn't stop. He kept working hard, learning, growing, and today that same boy is none other than Narendra Modi, the Prime Minister of India. Hard work may not always be fun. You might get tired, you might want to quit. You might even think, why am I doing this? But instead of that, if you chose to work hard, you are getting closer to your dreams. Even in school, we see that many students may be smart, but if they don't work hard, if they don't do their work properly, their marks decrease. On the other hand, if students who may not be the smartest but work hard every time do really well. This explains that hard work defeats talent when talent doesn't work hard. So my friends, even if you want to be a doctor, engineer, or even the best student in your class, you have to work hard. There is no elevator to success. You have to take the stairs. So I would like to say, believe in yourself, and alas, hard work always pays off. Thank you.
Thank you, Yoon Chomi, for your wonderful speech on hard work always pays off.